Welcome, darlings. My name is 42, and to start off this Halloween week, I have 2 stories for you. 2 sci-fi stories, that is. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that this week is full of collabs. Remember to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe so you don't miss this week. So, turn off your lights, make sure your doors and windows are locked. Things are about to get spooky. I probably shouldn't have left my coworker alone. But I just need a break from his constant complaint about how depressing his life was. I really shouldn't have left him alone, I thought as I found the cockpit door to be locked from the inside. Whales from the Void by J. Stories 1. First known section of the tablet. Any who found this, I know not why you are here. Perhaps it's chance, or perhaps you followed the same signal we did. If you are reading this, illegible. Our response was the same. When the signal reached us from across the stars, we went. This was not the first such message we received. Protocols were in place, and we followed them. It was the year 4257 by our standards when this particular signal was detected. Like always, it was a communication to the cosmos. It was the species' first attempt at communication among themselves. Even so, it was an indication of intelligent life. Our ship was launched. Each time we detected a civilization, we were hopeful. Optimistic that we were not alone in the void of space. Unfortunately, we have always been disappointed. The signals, electromagnetic waves, travel slowly through space. When such signals reach our sensors, they are millions of years old, if not older. Still, we have responded to every signal thus far. The first one we couldn't hunt down. Our receptor technology advanced faster than our spacefaring. History told us that we tried to respond, but received no answer. It wasn't until the year 2874 that we had reliable space travel, and not until 3752 that we had faster then. Intelligible. Tablet broken. Proceeding to next section. We had no neighbors. All we found were broken world devoid of life. Some wrecked by war, others famine, many pestilence. Desolate world after desolate world filled with the bones and carcasses of its former inhabitants. Only fading signs left of that once glorious civilization that were built there. This led the signals we received to take on a rather morbid epithet. We called them whales. Which leads to me. Who I am is not important. I am the captain of the ship that followed the whale here, to a small world in a small galaxy. It is my responsibility to leave this memorial, as we have left them on so many other worlds. A sign that life once flourished here, and that it still does in another part of the cosmos. Our scientists say this world was once green and blue, that life, carbon-based, thrived here. The dominant species was a group of bipedal primates. They called themselves humans. Their world, wrecked by pollution, eventually gave out. It had almost happened to us. We were too late to save them. They were a noble species. Studies indicate a strong familial bond as well as robust communities. They were just beginning to leave their planet. Intelligible. So we leave this marker carved into element number 22, atomic weight 47.867. On this world, it was called titanium, the most robust material we can mine from the geography. This record, written our language and many of theirs as we can translate is left from others who might come here, we have. You are not alone. This universe holds more than death. You are not alone. Coordinates to our unintelligible tablet broken. This small tablet was recovered on an uninhabited world orbiting a small yellow star in a spiral galaxy on the edge of Sector 215-648-329. The tablet was recovered in pieces. This was a recreation with all the pieces found. No other portions or whole tablet was located. Location of the tablet's creators not found. No other signs of life or civilization were found on this world. This remains the only sign of interstellar life outside our own species. As I dragged the screen prints across the checkered floor to the altar on the other side, he yelled out, "Why?" "The rules are always clear," the bishop said as he pulled out an old knife. "If we send a pawn to the other side, we can bring back a queen." Invasion by Sean E. Britten. Narrated by 242 with special guests, limited stories, and the Night's End podcast. Mr. Tallman? Mr. Tallman, can you hear me?
What? Where am I? What's happened?
Mr. Tallman, can you hear me? Do you know where you are?
Of course I can hear you. I don't know where I am. No.
How is your vision? Can you see how many fingers I'm holding up?
Are these handcuffs? Why am I wearing handcuffs?
Mr. Tallman, our time is short. Please answer my questions.
2. You're holding up 2 fingers. Have I been in some kind of accident? Are my family okay? My wife's name is Kamala, and I have 2 little girls.
As far as we know, they are alive, Mr. Tallman, but they're not in this facility.
What happened? Was it an accident?
Let's go with that for now. Mr. Tallman,
You can call me Phil.
Fine, Phil.
I didn't get your name.
My name is Special Agent Allison Mathers.
Wow, special.
Mr. Tallman, Phil.
Can I get these handcuffs taken off, please?
We need to leave those on for the moment.
Am I in trouble?
No, not exactly. But we need to leave them on until you answer some of our questions.
Who's he? In the corner.
This is Special Agent Holton. Phil, I need to ask you some questions, and then we can resolve the handcuffs. Maybe we can see about getting you something to eat and track down anything we know about your family.
Okay. I am kind of hungry now that you mentioned it. But I don't understand.
Mr. Tallman, Phil, you just woken up from a long sleep. It is important that you tell me the last thing you remember.
Jesus, it's all kind of a blur. We were driving somewhere. We were all together and we were driving somewhere. Me, my wife, and the girls. Is that what happened? Were we in a car accident?
Do you remember where you were driving?
That's right, the meteor shower. We were gonna go watch the meteor shower. We got there and parked, and we were looking for a place to put a blanket down. There were way more people than I was expecting. It was supposed to be pretty spectacular. That's what they said on TV, right?
That's good. Actually, that's really good. Do you remember anything after that?
After that? Was there something after that? I don't... Maybe? It's weird. Kind of like remembering something when I was drunk.
Phil, can you close your eyes for a moment?
Close my eyes?
Close your eyes, and Phil, I want you to imagine a light all around you. Imagine it's almost like your skin is glowing.
A light?
Some of the other survivors have described it like that. A light, it's kinda hot and cold at the same time. First it's on your skin, but then it's inside you. Imagine it making its way inside you.
I remember something.
That sounds familiar?
Yeah, it's like hurt, but it was a good kind of hurt. Like in your muscles after a big workout. What happened? It came from the meteor shower, didn't it? I remember the lights in the sky, and then the lights were falling, and it's like they were touching us.
Phil, keep your eyes closed. Hold on to that feeling, okay? Remember that light inside you. You are doing really well.
Oh God. I remember the light was inside my head. It was like it was pushing me out. Like there wasn't enough room for the both of us. It was pushing down on my bones, my stomach, my brain. I felt heavy and weightless, and like I wasn't in control.
Other people have described it like that too. You're doing very well. What do you remember next?
I don't understand.
Phil, please, we don't have a lot of time. If you want to help your family, I need you to remember.
Kamala, the girls, they were there, but it's like it didn't matter anymore. Like they weren't any more important than anyone else, I guess. Everyone in the park. We were all moving in the same direction. The lights was inside of them too. Oh God.
What is it, Phil?
I hurt someone. I'm so sorry, oh my God. Is that why I'm in these cuffs? I had my hands around his throat and it wasn't me. I wasn't in control. You have to believe me. It's like I couldn't hold on to anything. My mind kept bouncing through time and I couldn't hold on. Was it some kind of drug? Some kind of biological attack?
Yes, some kind of attack. Phil, I need you to keep remembering.
No. What is this? What happened? What happened to my wife and daughters?
Mr. Tolman.
No, I'm not answering more questions until you tell me what happened.
Phil, you're right. This was an attack. This was an attack, but it wasn't biological. It wasn't earthly. It came with a meteor shower. It targeted large groups of people who were outside to watch. Some describe it like rain, like pure white rain of light that started falling on people. And it changed them.
No. You're saying aliens? Is that what you're saying? That's crazy.
If you have any other explanation on what you remember, Phil, believe me, we'd be only too happy to hear it.
This is an invasion?
The light changed people, and we've been fighting them, fighting you. We have brought you out from under the control, but you need to answer our questions before your memories of that time fade out of your head.
How long?
It's been 15 days since the meteor shower. Now, please, Phil, what do you remember next?
It's really been 2 weeks? It was a police station. That's where we went first. And then a gun store. They wanted weapons. I don't know. It's like when I was there and everyone else was there, I could feel them. I could feel their memories. But the light was so much bigger and stronger than all of us. No one was giving us orders. We just all decided to do the same thing at the same time. I don't know how else to describe it, but I think it was using our memories to figure out where we get the weapons and the vehicles and where to hide. It's really been 2 weeks?
You said hiding. Where have you been hiding?
Underground, I think. It's dark.
Do you remember where we picked you up, Phil? We know you, or the light, those being controlled. We know you've been using the subway.
Right, the subway. That makes sense.
Do you remember any signs, any writing, anything that might indicate where your main base was?
Britten Street. I remember a lot of warning signs. Maybe construction. And the museum stop?
The controlled have been taking people. We know they're holding them somewhere. Do you remember seeing any big groups of people that were not controlled but were being held?
Why would they do that? Why would they take people?
Phil, please, we don't have a lot of time here.
Why do you keep checking that? Is there a timer? What's gonna happen when the time runs out?
I told you, the memories of your time being controlled don't last very long. Soon you'll forget everything after that meteor shower. Now tell me what you remember.
Museum. The museum stop. Some kind of underground? I don't know. I think they were building some stores and parking near there. Construction? We were keeping people trapped there.
You're doing really well, Phil. Better than about 90% of the people we've talked to. Do you remember anything about how you were getting past the barricades, past the quarantine?
No, I don't think I was a part of that. I stayed in the city and the tunnels.
Do you know what they were planning? What their next move was going to be? Remember the light, Phil. Remember what it felt like.
No, it didn't. It didn't work like that. There were no plans, no thinking about the future. It's like everyone made a decision at once and you just did it. There was no you or me anymore.
Agent Mathis.
Oh wow, he speaks. Your friend speaks.
Agent Mathis, I'm afraid we're out of time.
Phil, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you can remember?
It's all 2 weeks? It's really been 2 weeks? It's all bits and pieces what he's talking about though. I can still remember stuff.
I'm sorry, Phil. We can only bring you out from under their control, but it's only temporary right now. It's only temporary, and it only works once.
Is that a gun? No, I told you everything.
I know, I'm sorry, Phil. It's a hive mind. The light, it's a hive mind. We need all the intel we can get, but we can't let it know we've taken you.
Don't do this, please. My wife, my girls.
I promise you, Phil, we have no intel on them. They have not been killed nor been captured as far as we know. If we find some way to revoke the hive mind permanently...
You can't do this!
I'm sorry. Agent Dalton, please.
No, please.
I didn't cry when she said she was leaving me or when she walked out the door. I just clicked terminate on the digital chart and entered the notation. Amanda, number 46, unsuccessful. Salvage genetic material for analyzing prior to next clone generation. And with that, darlings, day 1 of Halloween week has come to a close. I do hope you enjoyed these 2 tales about different sci-fi-like stories. As always, Sean E. Britten really did a good job. Makes you so worried what light might bring for you. And maybe that wailing in the void is nothing but a death cry. Remember, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. Subscribe so you can stay tuned for this week. Share these stories with anyone who might enjoy them. And of course, we have a Patreon, merch, PayPal, and memberships if you'd like to help support this channel in other ways. And of course, leave a comment to tell poor 242 how she's doing. I mean, I did chain her to the desk yet again this year. But as always, thank you for listening. Sleep tight and don't let me bite.